It took me a week to leave Islam. I opened up the hadith on a Monday. Just to give some clarification, the Quran is the direct word of God, and then the hadith are the teachings of Muhammad. There are Muslims that only believe in the Quran. They're a huge minority, and they're relatively peaceful. When it comes to the hadith, it's pretty bad. I opened up the hadith on a Monday, and I didn't have to use a translation. I spoke fluent Arabic. Side note, never trust an English version of the Quran or the hadith. And there's this verse in the Quran. This was the first hint, and it says, وَإِنَّ عَلَى أَزْوَاجِهِمْ وَمَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ. What's permissible for you is your wives and what your right hand possesses. Now, in English, they try to change it a little bit. In English, they try to say that like it's not saying what it's saying, but I know Arabic.
So what's it saying?
Right hand possession is a saying in Arabic meaning slaves. There's something called asbab al-nuzul in the hadith, which means the reasons for this verse being like revealed by God. And the story goes, Muhammad and his army, they surround this village, and the village surrenders, and it's a time of war. And they asked him, like, what do we do about the wives and the women in the village who their husbands are dead from the war, and we actually don't want to have sex with them. We don't want to take them as wives. Muhammad said that it is permissible to take them as wives against their will. And as soon as I read that, I knew what I was going to say because I know the saying, but as soon as I read the clarification of the verse, I was like, so you're assaulting women. I can't say the word for censorship. Taking someone against their will, that's terrible.
When you said you looked at the interpretation of it, what does that mean?
There's a few commentators that they're called tafsir, which just means commentators. And the most famous one is Ibn Kathir, by far the most popular, like in the entire Muslim world. And he is probably the most accurate too. He explains this is what was happening. And he knows because he's getting it from accounts of people who were in the battle and saying this is what Muhammad said to do in the battle. And my first instinct was almost to throw up.